Our congratulations to the Illinois women's track and field team for the first time since 2013, winning the indoor championships, back on top of the Big Ten after this weekend's event. We are thrilled to welcome in the director of that program, Petros Kyprianou, joining us from Champaign. Petros, let's start with this. How enjoyable was the celebration? And more importantly, how long were the athletes actually able to celebrate before they focus on the next thing on their schedules?
Oh my goodness! Thank you so much for having me. Oh yeah, that was a dream. The ladies. I'm pretty sure we're the last ones to leave the facility. They awarded the trophy to the women first, and then Wisconsin got theirs. They did their celebration, did everything, and they left. And then we were still there. The ladies were just so excited about the win, and just enjoying the moment.
Go back a couple of years to when you took over this program before the start of 2022. It was a program that had really been struggling, hadn't won a championship indoors in 11 years. As a matter of fact, hadn't finished higher than ninth since that last championship. So when you took over, what was the realistic expectation about getting this program to kind of where you wanted it to be and how quickly that could happen?
Yeah, I mean, for me, there was never such a definition as a realistic expectation. I'm always been a dreamer and a overachiever in a way. I took this job because I saw in Josh Whitman's eyes the desire and the willingness to bring every program on campus back to the top or be contending for championships. And I knew this place was a sleeping giant per se. My staff and I went out and recruited and tried to work in silence as much as we could to bring in the right players to be able to contend for something like that. And the ladies believed. I mean, they've seen it, they believed it, and they did it. So, that was really our expectation from day one. And to be honest with you, I've always been more of a nationals NCAA championship pursuer per se, but they say when you shoot for the stars, you land on the moon or something like that. But landing on this kind of moon in the Big Ten, it's been amazing for the whole community here, the student body, the administration, everybody supporting this program. It's been amazing.
For anyone that has ever been to a track and field championship, so many disciplines going on at once. You have to keep your head on a swivel. Keeping track of the score is almost impossible. So at what point over the course of the weekend did you feel like this was in your grasp?
Oh, my goodness. It wasn't over until really the 5K. I'm sorry, the 3K in the end. We were going back and forth with Penn State. I mean, they've gained some major ground after day one with some mishaps by another school in the pentathlon, and then they did great in the 5K. So, I knew that we have some solid gamers come day two. I mean, obviously the high jump and the 200 were our big firepower, and I thought it will come down to the 4x4 relay, but thank goodness it didn't, because the ladies were pretty tired after tripling basically than the 60-2 and the 4x4. But I felt that what Hallie did at the 3K really solidified the win, and we were really excited at that moment. So.
You mentioned the high jump. Barasaj-Stakova not just wins the high jump, but ties the indoor record. How impressive was her performance?
Oh, that was amazing. That's an athlete that went through a lot. She transferred to us from Texas A&M. The funny thing is I had signed her at my previous institution before I left. And then when I left, she went to Texas A&M, and I guess it didn't go the way she hoped. She still trusted, our talks and her vision and where she wants to be. And she came to Illinois without thinking twice. And this is nice to see her back at top and breaking a school record, a very old record that between her and her teammate, it will go back and forth, 188 to 189. And love to see, all of these ladies that transfer in to accomplish their goals, and they feel happy doing this sport again, and epitomize it with the championship this weekend.
Daria Sapova was crowned champion in the triple jump. And even for track and field novices, that is such a fun event to watch. What's the key to success in the triple jump?
Oh, yeah. Triple jump is arguably the most technical event in track and field, or arguably one of the most technical events. It requires obviously speed and really an amazing technique where you learn how to hit the ground with maximum speed, like hop. You got to be able to hop off your first phase, which scientifically it can be anywhere from 7 to 10 times your body weight. So you got to be extremely strong and able to utilize that speed to get you to the next phase. So she's another person that transferred from Texas, didn't perform the way she wanted to, and she came here, and now she's living this kind of success and being happy doing her event again. But indeed, the triple jump is an amazing event to watch.
You mentioned your team's strength in the 200, and that was Jessica McDowell, the third individual champion. She runs the 200 in just over 23 seconds. How hard is it to accurately describe to the layperson how fast that pace is at half the length of an Olympic oval?
Oh, yeah, it is a very fast race. And given that Jessica had run a 400-meter final about an hour prior to the 200, and she finished third with the personal best and a top 10 mark in the nation, to come back. And she was upset that didn't win it. So she had that look in her eyes. It was like, no, this is going to be mine. I'm not losing the 200. And obviously running it in the same heat with her teammates, and dropping a very fast time of 23.3. Obviously, the times outdoors will be faster, obviously with the angle of the track and being more warmer and having a little wind, that time should drastically drop to SAP 23. So for her to come back from a 400 final after prelims in the 200 and the 400 the previous day and capitalize with the title and being our highest scorer, it was very nice to see, especially how her year went last year, being injured basically the whole year. Just sat back in silence and worked hard and came back and took the championship.
Petros, with many of these athletes having Olympic or other international aspirations, what's the balancing act of trying to peak so many different times during the course of the year, balancing the indoor to the outdoor, and what's your role and the assistant coach's roles in trying to help the athletes get there?
Yeah, that's a great question, because really that's the essence of not only great coaching and timing, but the ability of the athlete to take care of their bodies, take care of business really outside of track and field training. Proper sleep, nutrition, hydration, rehabilitation modalities, whether it's massaging, chiropractic. There's a lot of ways and a lot of resources in modern Division I, Power 5 universities, where we have the ability to do things to help these athletes. But mainly, I'm grateful to have an amazing coaching staff where everybody is as scientific as they have experience, and they're able to adapt to this high impact, high level training and planning, because these athletes most of them are going to be contending for an Olympic spot for their, whether it's U.S. or international team to make the Olympic team. And they know that we got to be able to time everything up in such a way that they're going to have juice per se in August, July and August. So I feel very good where our team is, and very happy that we do have those resources here to help these young men and women to recover properly.
All right, Petros, let's finish with this. What's next for this championship program?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, my goal and promise I gave to this community is to bring Illinois a national title. It's one of those things that the conference is changing drastically, and especially in track and field. You have four powerhouses come in. Thankfully, where I came from, I was very accustomed to all that, and got to stay true to our recruiting philosophy, the way we train them, the high intensity. We try to train as hard as we rest, or rest as hard as we train, and try to build something special. I mean, I would like to make it as quickly as possible, like this championship, but unfortunately, this is a marathon and not a sprint to pursue this next goal. But consistency has always been in my mind, and when you develop a culture of consistency and happiness, and a very hard work ethic, great things will happen as long as the athletes have that sense of urgency and sheer will to accomplish their goals. The commitment is just comes as it goes. So I can't wait to see what's in the future for us.
Marathon, not a sprint, an apt analogy from the director of a track and field program. Petros Kyprianou, congratulations on an amazing weekend. Keep it going. Thanks for being with us on Big Ten Today.
Thank you for having me.